of proof of venue, not just proof of venue, whether that municipality was in Dane County or not. And I think, really, are you really worried about this? I don't operate that way. Now, I'm not criticizing you for bringing up this issue. I think it's legitimate, but it's not something that sways my judgment in the case. And unless you can tell me that you have reason to believe that doctor is going to testify differently about some of these other time periods within that less than 5 minute period, or that you are somehow prejudiced by the late arrival of the report, and I don't want to say late, although, okay, that's fair, then I'm going to allow the testimony to be given.
If I may respond, Your Honor.
Please.
Yesterday, as I said, I was under the court's ire.
I don't want to talk about.
Well,
why don't we
I think it's a fundamental fairness here. This is something we litigated at a Daubert hearing. We spent time on this.
I am going to interrupt you, and then I'm going to let you talk again. Okay. But I was talking yesterday about the Constitution of the United States and how the Supreme Court has interpreted it for 50 years. That's not what we're talking about here today.
So, this is a notice issue to the state. We have not been provided proper notice of this, and clearly if the shoe were on the other foot and we tried something like this, there would be quite a kerfluffle about that. That's one point. This is, as I said earlier, it's beyond even his preliminary report. Like he's just adding new things at the last minute like this, and this is not prompted by new drone footage or anything like that. There's no mention of drone footage in this report. So to fall behind the excuse of, well, other new evidence has come forward, it doesn't change the fact that this is an expert. There are notice requirements for experts. There has been no notice of this issue. We've already litigated this, and now the defense is trying to expand it in direct violation of the court's order. One moment, Your Honor. I also wanted to point out that I think it's Exhibit 141 is a supplemental report that apparently Mr. Black prepared on October 24th, according to the date. We just got it yesterday. So again, another example of late notice here. I understand that the court wants to hear, or wants the jury to hear, the timing from the beginning of whenever we start to the end, whenever we redraw that line. I understand that. There are other ways for us to do that, of course. We can take other videos. They all have timestamps on them. This expert is not needed for that. I don't think we're going to need that time frame down to the hundredths of a second. I think even tenths of a second, even 1 second is probably close enough for the jury to understand that this is not something that took days or hours. It was a matter of minutes. So I think they can already get that point without this expert's testimony. The one specific item of prejudice that I do want to bring to the court's attention is in Exhibit 142. As I pointed out earlier, there are characterizations here.
Well, I agree with you there. Doctors, I assume he's using it for to pinpoint particular events, and I agree with you. He's not going to be permitted to do that.
Okay, so I want to be. Again, I just want to make sure we're all on the same page and that I'm understanding things clearly from the court. There are, for example, observation number 7 on 142 has a characterization of Mr. Rosenbaum's behavior. That will not be allowed?
He's going to have to find some way to express that that is not conclusory.
Change in elevation?
I'm going to try to let you do it in a prudent way, and if there's an objection, I'll deal with it.
Okay.
But yeah, I do think his objection is well stated, that there's some conclusory language in there which is to be avoided.
I can refer to, they're queued up. I can refer to, if he objects to that, I can just refer to it as 7.
That would seem to be unobjectionable.
I think if these are things where we're just going to show the jury that item, that moment in time, they can see it on the screen, then we don't need a witness to tell us what we're seeing. That
Well,
make it easy.
I'm not, I can't anticipate what he might ask or what your objection might be, so I'm not going to try to.
I would also continue by objecting to observations 15.
Go slow.
15.
As it means to the description of the event that he gives?
Yes.
Yeah, I think any of his descriptions are going to have to be non-conclusory on his part.
That's fine.
Okay, perhaps just to point to the particular moment in time and say this is at such and such an hour. I don't know.
Can I list the ones that I want to raise for so we're
No, because you can object when it happens. Because maybe see if I rule on everything now, then I may be talking about things that may never become an issue, and I'd rather the jury's in the library now, and I'd rather get them out here.
Okay. One final thing, Your Honor. If there is any data or reports that are generated by the software that Dr. Black is using when he prepares all this, I would like that. We've received a similar request from the defense this morning for Mr. Armstrong's things, so I would like that information from the defense.
No
Is there-
problem. Do you have any? Does your
I
program?
can generate them. It's going to take a little bit of time, but they're all you can generate them all.
How much is a little bit of time?
Well, so Your Honor, the first thing I'd have to do in order to meet my understanding is I can go back in and relabel everything based on this.
You know what? I'm just trying to get the jury out here. How long are we talking about? Not why it's going to take as long as it will. How long will it take?
To relabel everything, I'm guessing about 5 to 10 minutes.
Oh,
In
okay.
order to do the reports, Your Honor, that'll take a little bit longer.
Okay. It doesn't seem like it's going to be a big problem. Before you're cross, you should be able to at least get the basics. Okay? Anything else?
No.
Ask the jurors to come out, please.
Okay.
Hey, would you
So-
put it?
I need a. That's not just showing on the screen.
Quarter of the way out, and then put it back away. Put a piece of paper over it. Can you do that? No, you probably can't.
I think that.
You asked earlier a question, Your Honor. I can do that in 5 minutes. Make them only the numbers.
Okay.
That's what I'm
Ask
doing.
the would you ask the jurors if they tell them it's going to be about 5 more minutes, and they're welcome to go upstairs if they want, or stay down here. And tell them I'm sorry I didn't turn on the music for them. All right.